Hurricane Melissa rapidly strengthened over the past days, becoming one of the most intense storms of the 2025 Atlantic season. In particular, the storm tapped into unusually warm ocean waters, sea surface and subsurface temperatures elevated by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius above normal, which scientists say fueled its rapid intensification. It first made landfall in Jamaica as a Category 5 hurricane with sustained winds around 185 miles per hour, 295 kilometers per hour. Moving from Jamaica, Melissa proceeded toward eastern Cuba, making another landfall there on Wednesday, October 29th, as a major hurricane, Category 3, with sustained winds of about 120 miles per hour, 195 kilometers per hour. Impacts in Jamaica. In Jamaica, the storm's arrival left a trail of very serious damage. The Prime Minister declared a disaster area, and some 15,000 people were sheltered while an estimated 400,000 people were affected. The intensity and slow movement meant massive rainfall and flooding in some places, and structural damage to housing, infrastructure, and hospitals. The number of confirmed fatalities in the region is already non-trivial. At least 7 deaths have been linked to Melissa's broader path: Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic. Cuba and the Bahamas brace for major threats. As Melissa crossed over into Cuba and moves toward the Bahamas, warning signals are clear. In Cuba, particularly the provinces of Granma, Santiago de Cuba, Guantanamo, Holguin, and Las Tunas, hurricane warnings were issued. Hundreds of thousands of people were evacuated. Rainfall totals in eastern Cuba were forecast at up to 10 to 20 inches, 25 to 51 centimeters, with local amounts in mountainous terrain possibly higher, producing life-threatening flash floods and landslides. Storm surge along the southeast coast of Cuba is expected to reach 8 to 12 feet, 2.4 to 3.6 m, in some areas. For the Bahamas, forecasters warned that the island chain faces damaging winds, heavy rainfall, and storm surge. Preparations were urged to be completed rapidly. Climate and longer-term context. Meteorologists and climate scientists point out that the behavior of Hurricane Melissa is emblematic of broader trends in tropical cyclone behavior in a warming world. Warm ocean waters provide more fuel for storms to intensify more quickly than in the past. Rapid intensification. Events like Melissa are becoming more common. The slow movement of the storm in some cases exacerbates rainfall and flooding risk, especially over vulnerable terrain and infrastructure. Small island and coastal states in the Caribbean are particularly vulnerable due to limited infrastructure resilience, exposure to storm surge, landslides and flooding, and economic fragility. What to watch in the coming hours. Monitor the official forecasts from the National Hurricane Center, NHC, and local authorities as Melissa tracks through the Bahamas and possibly toward Bermuda and the open Atlantic. Pay attention to thresholds for rainfall, storm surge, coastal flooding, and landslides in eastern Cuba and the Bahamas. Even if the center of the storm passes nearby, the impacts will be severe. For relief and recovery efforts, anticipate major disruptions in power, transport, communications, and sheltering, especially in Jamaica and Cuba, and soon possibly the Bahamas. For the longer term, tropical cyclone preparedness, resilient infrastructure, evacuation capacity, and early warning systems will continue to be essential in regions hit by storms like Melissa.